Hey everybody, it's me again. Well, I have another fairy tale. This one is again from the Scandinavian Tales, same book, still in Norway. This one is called The Lad and the North Wind. The Lad. A lad is like a young boy. Once upon a time, good way to start. Once upon a time, there was an old woman who had a son, and as she was very weak and feeble, she sent her son across the yard to the storehouse to fetch a meal for the porridge for dinner. But when he got outside the steps, the north wind came rushing past, took the meal out of his bowl, and away it flew through the air. The lad went back to the storehouse to fetch more, but when he came out on the steps, the north wind came whistling past again, and away went the meal. And when the lad went back for a third time, the north wind played him the same trick over again. And here's a picture. The lad got angry at this and thought it wasn't right of the north wind to behave in this manner, so he made up his mind to give the north wind a call and ask him for his meal. Meal would be like, well, I don't know, kind of like oats and oatmeal, or not really though. It'd be things that you would make your bread out of. Well, the lad started off, but it was a long way, and he walked and came at last to the north wind. "Good day," said the lad, "and thanks for calling to see me yesterday." "Good day," answered the north wind. His voice was hoarse and gruff. "No thanks required. What do you want?" "Oh," said the lad, I, I was only going to ask you to be good enough to let me have back that meal you took from me on the steps, because we haven't much, and if you are going on in this way, and take what little we have, we'll starve." "I haven't got any meal," said the north wind, "but since you're so hard up, you shall have a tablecloth which will provide you with everything you wish, if only you say, 'Cloth, spread yourself, and serve up all kinds of fine dishes.'" The lad was well satisfied with this, but as the way was so long that he couldn't get home that night, he went to a roadside inn, and when they were going to have supper, he put the cloth on a table which stood in the corner, and said, "Cloth, spread yourself, and serve up all kinds of fine dishes." He had scarcely said these words before the cloth did as it was told, and all in the room thought it was a very nice thing to have, but no one liked it better than the innkeeper's wife. She thought it would be the very thing for her. It would save her such a lot of trouble in frying and boiling, laying the cloth, and putting the things on the table, and so on. So in the middle of the night, when all were asleep, she took the cloth from the lad and put another one in its stead, just like the one she had got from the north wind, the one he had got from the north wind. But her cloth couldn't, of course, serve up as much as an oatmeal cake. When the lad awoke, he took the cloth and set out on his journey, and that day he got back to his mother. "Well," he said, "I've been to the north wind, I have. He's a decent fellow, I think, because he gave me this cloth, and I have only to say, 'Cloth, spread yourself, and serve up all kinds of fine dishes,' and then I get the best of everything I want to eat and drink." "Ah, indeed, I dare say," said the mother, "but I don't believe it till I see it." So the lad lost no time, but took a table, laid the cloth on it, and said, "Cloth, spread yourself, and serve up all kinds of fine dishes." But the cloth didn't serve up so much as a dry crust. "Ah, well," said the lad, "there's no help for it. I must go to the north wind again." And away he went. Toward evening he came to where the north wind lived. "Good evening," said the lad. "Good evening," said the north wind. "I want my rights for the meal you took from us," said the lad, "for that cloth you gave me is not good for anything." "I haven't any meal," said the north wind, "but here's a goat for you which makes only golden coins. If you say, 'Go to mine, make money.'" I wonder how he makes the money. That pleased the lad, but as it was too late to get home that day, he went into the same inn where he had been before. But before he called for anything, he wanted to try the goat and see if it was true what the north wind had said about it, and sure enough the goat made only golden coins. But when the innkeeper saw what kind of goat the lad had, he thought that was a goat worth having. So when the lad had fallen asleep, he took another goat which couldn't make any golden coins, and put that in its place. Next morning the lad started off home, and when he came in to his mother, he said, "The North Wind is a good fellow after all. This time he's given me a goat that makes only golden coins. If only I say, 'Go to mine, make money.'" "Ah, to be sure," said his mother. "That's all rubbish. I don't believe it till I see it." "Go to mine, make money," cried the lad, but not a shilling could the goat make. So the lad went back again to the North Wind and said that the goat wasn't worth anything, and he wasn't going to be done out of his meal, not he. "Well," said the North Wind, "I have nothing else to give you but that old stick over there in the corner, but it is a good stick, and if you only say, 'Stick of mine, lay on,' and it lays on until you say, 'Stick of mine, leave off.'" But it was a long way home, and the lad went into the old inn where he had slept before, and as now he pretty well guessed how he had lost the cloth and the goat, he lay down at once on the bench and began snoring as if he were asleep. The innkeeper, who thought that the stick must be good for something also, looked for a stick like the one the lad had, and was going to change the sticks while the lad was snoring away. But just as the innkeeper was going to take the stick, the lad cried out, "Stick of mine, lay on!" And the stick commenced beating the poor innkeeper till he jumped over chairs and tables, while he shouted and yelled, oh dear, tell the stick to leave off, or it'll kill me. You shall have both your cloth and your goat back again." When the lad thought that the innkeeper had had enough, he said, "Stick of mine, leave off," took his cloth and put it in his pocket, and with the stick in his hand and leading the goat by a string, he started off home. And now, thought the lad, he had been very well paid for the meal he had lost. All right, the end. We'll read another one later. Good night from me and D'Artagnan. All right.